What is good, Cutter people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bob Lamb, and in today's video we're talking about Twitter pulling the reverse Uno card on itself, content nuking itself, doing everything that North Korea wouldn't even dare to do to Kim Jong-un. Apparently dude don't even got a booty hole. That's how bad this situation is. But anyway, as I was saying, Twitter pretty much canceled itself, and that all of the users on Twitter who canceled everybody else is now turning on its own platform. The platform that we know and love, or thought we knew, has just cheated on us like Mario Judah's ex-girlfriend. Now, we're not gonna beat them up like he allegedly did or faked like he did. By the way, we got a new development on that story that's coming later tomorrow. Or maybe we are, because there are lawsuits against Twitter right now, especially with the hypocrisy from last week with Trump getting censored and a bunch of other political figures. But that's for later on in the video, so without further ado, Twitter is in big trouble. Let's talk about it. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack in this video, so, get some popcorn, get a chocolate bar, metaphorically, if you know what I mean, and relax, because New York Post just tweeted earlier today with a big story that Twitter is getting sued by one of its users. In the headline said Twitter refused to remove child stuff because it didn't violate policies. Now I'm going to be replacing a certain P word with something else, because again, I don't want to get demonetized. I do this for a living, so bear with me here, but y'all see it on the screen. But just to summarize this article, apparently Twitter refused to take down widely shared P-word images and videos of a teenage S-word trafficking victim because an investigation, quote, didn't find a violation of the company's policies. The federal suit filed Wednesday by the victim and his mother in the Northern District of California alleges Twitter made money off the clips, which showed a 13-year-old engaged in S-word acts and are form of child blah 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 abuse material, or CP, the suit states. Now, the fact that they made money off of this alleged violation of terms or policies is significant in the lawsuit for the child and his parents, because it furthers their case for damages and how much money this family can take from Twitter, likely in the millions. But to continue, the teen, who is now 17 and lives in Florida, is identified only as John Doe and was between 13 and 14 years old when S-word traffickers posing as a 16-year-old female classmate started chatting with him on Snapchat, the suit alleges. Doe and the traffickers allegedly engaged nude photos before the conversation turned to blackmail. If the teen didn't share more S-word graphic photos and videos, the explicit material he'd already sent would be shared with his parents, coach, pastor, and the others. So kids, learning lesson just in the middle of this video: do not send nude photos to people you have not met in person, or people in person. You can literally be arrested for CP if you were a minor. So do not do that. Do not send it to anybody, or even take it on your phone, because Instagram and Apple has access to your photos. Okay? Be smart, people. No hot dog photos unless they in the refrigerator. Doe, acting under duress, initially sent videos of himself performing S-word acts and was told to include another child in his videos, which he did, the suit claims. Eventually, Doe blocked the traffickers and they stopped harassing him, but at some point in 2019, the video surfaced on Twitter under two accounts that were known to share child S-word abuse material. Over the next month, the videos would be reported to Twitter at least 3 times, but the tech giant failed to do anything about it until a federal law enforcement officer got involved. Doe became aware of the tweets in January 2020 because they'd been viewed widely by his classmates, which subjected him to teasing, harassment, vicious bullying, and led him to become suicidal. While Doe's parents contacted the school and made police reports, he filed a complaint with Twitter saying there were 2 tweets depicting CP of himself and they needed to be removed because they were illegal, harmful, and were in violation of the site's policies. A support agent from Twitter followed up and asked for a copy of Doe's ID so they could prove it was him, and after the teen complied, there was no response for a week. Around the same time, Doe's mother filed 2 complaints to Twitter reporting the same material, and for a week she also received no response. Finally, on January 28th, about a month later basically, Twitter replied to Doe and said they wouldn't be taking down the material, which had already racked up over 167,000 views and 2,223 retweets. And this is a direct quote from Twitter, I might add. Thanks for reaching out. We've reviewed the content and didn't find a violation of our policies, so no action will be taken at this time. If you believe there's a potential copyright infringement, please start a new report. If the content is hosted on a third-party website, you'll need to contact that website support to report it. Your safety is the most important thing, and if you believe you're in danger, we encourage you to contact your local authorities. Now, let's repeat that, just paraphrase it a little bit. Basically, dude got blackmailed into sending nude photos to somebody else who was trying to portray themselves as another student. So dude basically got tricked, and then he got blackmailed into sending more photos, maybe for profit, maybe for this person's own like disgusting pleasure. And so this dude who was getting blackmailed reported it to Twitter because he is literally a minor right now and was a minor, and his videos are on Twitter of his naked body or whatever is going on there. CP. And Twitter is not taking it down because they, quote, aren't violating any of the policies, which they are. 100%. CP is illegal in America. Not only can like kids not give consent, but CP under the age of 18 in all states is illegal. So Twitter is already down bad, but there's more information, so just sit tight. The kid who was getting blackmailed then stated to Twitter, "What do you mean you don't see a problem? We both are minors right now, and we were minors at the time those videos were taken. We both were 13 years of age. We were baited, harassed, and threatened to take these videos that are now being posted without our permission. We did not authorize these videos at all, and they need to be taken down," the teen wrote back to Twitter. Apparently, he also included the case number from his local law enforcement agency, but still the tech giant allegedly ignored him afterwards and refused to do anything and take down the post, even though it was illegal, and it continued to rack up more and more views, hundreds of thousands. Now, 2 days later, fortunately, this kid's mom finally got law enforcement to get involved and got Twitter to take down the videos, but that's only after the government got involved. So this just kind of shows the power that these social media platforms have over the government pretty much, because they kind of do whatever they want, but we'll get into that a little bit later with the hypocrisy of publisher versus platform. Now, obviously, we already talked about the law already being broken with CP being reposted on Twitter. Now, as soon as Twitter found out that these people were minors, they should have taken it down. No ifs, ands, or buts, no questions. Even if it's like an 18-year-old, one day after, they should take down the post and then let the person maybe say, "Nah, I wanted the video on there," and then they can, reestablish it on the platform. If I was the Twitter CEO, I would be taking no chances with CP whatsoever. But something interesting to know, and I think that a lot of people don't know, is that there's actually a pretty large community on Twitter of adults who are really into CP. And up until October of 2020, only a few months ago, they were actually allowed to post pictures and talk about their interest in such a disgusting topic. They're pretty much allowed to congregate and kind of find each other so that they can, further their success in whatever they're doing. But as I was saying, only on October 2020 did Twitter finally update their policies on the topic of CP and S-word abuse, and that now, quote, "Twitter has zero tolerance for any material that features or promotes child S-word exploitation. We aggressively fight online child S-word abuse and have heavily invested in technology and tools to enforce our policy." But as we discussed briefly before this October 2020 policy update, people were actually allowed to talk about it online as long as it didn't harm any person or exploit any single child. And what do you know? This actually occurred before the October 2020 update. So maybe this new update was in response to this lawsuit, or fear of the lawsuit, I guess. But either way, it still went against both of the policies of 2019 and before that, as well as the 2020 update, because no matter what, a single child, actually multiple, were exploited and abused by offenders. And now that we got that out of the way, I just wanted to point out the last part of hypocrisy on Twitter's end, in that in this lawsuit, they'll probably claim that they're a platform and can't necessarily be held responsible for every single piece of material on the platform, defining themselves not as a publisher, so they can't control what other people say all of the time, since there's so much data being processed at every second. And so where the hypocrisy lies, and honestly wrongdoing objectively by Twitter, is that they started banning people like Trump and others. And I'm not saying that it's not justified whatsoever, because I understand the argument by people even within the company saying that they're a private platform that can choose whoever they want. However, what they're saying by allowing CP on their platform is that they're allowing these people, yet they're not allowing Trump and the other people who violated their policies. So it's just disgusting how they're banning some people, like high profile figures who may or may not be causing violence. I'm not here to tell you which side to support politically, but I would definitely say that the people spreading and exploiting children are definitely way worse and should be taken care of with a simple ban on all of these accounts that they literally put inside their bio. It just baffles me, the stupidity of Twitter's executives sometimes. Twitter's a great platform, but it has a lot of toxicity to it, and I guess it remains in the higher ups as well, who just don't know how to stick to a certain position. If you're gonna ban bad people from the platform, ban all the bad people. If you're not gonna ban people, don't ban anyone. That's just how it should be. And believe me, I don't wish anything negative on Twitter. I own stock from them and it just crashed a little bit, so I lost money within this, especially doing this video and spreading this bad news. But something needs to change, because this is, again, just disgusting. I can't think of a better word. And so with that, it's your boy Bob Lamb signing off, hoping Twitter bans this whole community of CP exploiters, and telling all y'all kids right now, do not send to anyone, even if it's a girl, even if it's on Snapchat and it deletes after like 5 seconds. I don't care. They can screenshot that on another phone without you even knowing. And then you, even though you took the picture and didn't spread it, can still be held liable legally, okay? Let me know in the comments what you think about the situation. You cool with all this going on the platform? Do you see the hypocrisy going on? Make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it for the latest hip-hop news, drama, analysis, actually just regular news now too. As well as to follow me on my socials in the description and join the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, cut it, people. Know what I'm saying?